Well, I'd say I'd worry about my hair, but it's not worry about it right now. What do you say? We got other things to talk about. Let's talk about Joey and Sarah. They don't live here where I'm at, but they live up in Visayas. So we're going to talk about that couple today. Been married 3 years. So hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I promise next time you see me, I'll comb my hair. Okay, I told you I comb my hair. Okay, we're going to talk about Joey and Sarah. They're Visaya. Joey, Ruth is saying, what is that? Well, his name's Joey. Joey, Joey. He's been in the Philippines about 3 years. He came in pre-COVID, so he knows what's going on. He's been here 3 years, so he's been through it. Been through all the things and the vaccines and things. They've been married now 3 years. When he came, they got married approximately a few months after. But that's not the story. The story is we got Joey and Sarah been married, and things are rocky for him right now. And a couple of reasons they're rocky. He was telling me, he says she's wanting to leave him. And I said, well, why would someone want to leave, right? Unless you're rude or mean or violent or alcoholic or things like that. He said they just don't get along. Well, as you know, no matter any relationship, no matter what you're doing in life, you know as well as I do, you have to communicate and talk well to your filipina or to your wife. And in that case, talk well to your wife. And a lot of the problems they're having is just communication between the two. Now, Joey said that he is...
Sorry, Daddy.
It's okay. Ruth's cleaning the kitchen. It's okay. And sometimes it gets complicated. And what complicates things, believe it or not, is English. She understands broken English, and that is the problem. That's exactly the problem. She understands him, but she doesn't understand him. And what that means is she understands what he's saying, but doesn't really understand the meaning of the words that he's trying to say. He's talked to her. They've family members to try to coach her in her English and help her along, because there's some family members, college graduates, that helped her, try to help her along. But her being in her mid-20s, mid to late 20s, she's just kind of frustrated, saying, I'm not willing to learn the language. I have to do what I have to do. And this day and age, you know as well as I do, it's hard for someone like me because I have the slang, as they say, where I'm at here. But I'm not willing to give up 100%, but I will try, especially on certain words and things like that. But I know that this day and age, you have to really communicate with your lady, because it ain't going to get along. You're not going to make it. So the first things first is, if you come to the Philippines, before you marry someone, make sure you get some type of communication together. And I don't care if it's sign language. I don't care if it's a phone. If you can translate the words or talk in English. It's like someone we know recently can talk easier on the phone in English than they can speak in the words. So they can understand the words on the phone, but they cannot speak the words itself and understand exactly how to speak those words. But the girl can read the language and understand the meaning and understands what the man's trying to say. Well, in Joey and Sarah's case, Joey said, okay, that's what they were trying to do, and that's what they've been using. But sometimes things get taken out of context also. You know as well as I do. And when you're trying to make a point across, when you get emotions and words it's like texting. I don't like texting because you get its emotions involved in it. Well, what'd you mean by that sentence? What'd you mean by that statement? What'd you mean by that word? Why did you say that word? That's a bad word. Or that word is derogatory. That word is bad. Well, that's the problem. We all understand what that means. How many times you guys got a text and you said, what is that? What, you're angry? What's that? What's that word? But the person on the other side that sent the text may not have meant that the way it came across. But it came across in a way that you took it bad, so you grab the phone and pick it up and you call the person and say, well, you got a problem? Well, no, I don't have a problem. Well, why did you text that in those words like that? Well, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like this. In Joey and Sarah's case, I told him, you best find a mediator. You better find somebody, wherever that may be. If it's church, if it's in town, family member, something, to sit down and talk to her and teach her better the language. teach her language better, I'm trying to say, and so she can understand it and get along. When you marry someone, make sure they speak your language. If they don't speak your language, make sure that you figure that out before you guys get married, because you're going to have problems anyway in life, not counting the problems you're going to have in your normal relationship and daily relationships, whether she has children, whether he has children, whether he's been married before and his wife is constantly calling him, his ex-wife, whether she's been in a situation, relationship with a boyfriend and he's constantly calling her. You're going to have those pop up from time to time. You're going to have Facebook that is just basically a grounds of evil itself. It's going to pop up in conversations that you've had in the past that she's going to read, and the vice versa, that you're going to read the ones that she has. So you've got to really get that cleared up initially before you guys tie the knot. And it's so many relationships have gone sour here in the Philippines because of communication. So I suggest that a lot of the guys that's out there that's coming to the Philippines don't necessarily tie the knot and get married immediately unless you understand her. And she's going to really want to understand you too, because if she's committed, which most of the time Filipinos are committed 100%, she will be devoted to you and she will help you along. But you have to be willing to help her also and be patient with her. More than likely, words have crossed, and Joey said, I found myself yelling at her because she didn't understand what I'm trying to say. And then my voice gets loud, then she gets mad, and then Tampo comes in, and then she don't speak to me for 2 or 3 days. Well, you know as well as I do, when that happens, you might as well just chuck it out the door, because it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to change unless you can finally dig her out of that rabbit hole. Dig your hand in there and reach and grab her out of that rabbit hole and pull her back out, because it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Look see how noisy it is here all the time. But so we, Ruth and I, have not had any problems with communication because she speaks English. How she learned English was OFW. She had to learn it quick. She had no choice in the matter because her boss, one boss was an American, so she had to learn it pretty quick. So here, Joey and Sarah, my suggestion to you guys in Visayas is to say this. Have her, send her to school if you have to. I mean, she is a graduate, but she cannot speak in English. Now, there goes to show you something else. They want the betterment of schools. It will take years, and I'm talking years, for the betterment of schools, because here's going to be the problem. The people are in the 4th grade now, and then when they get 9th grade, is it going to get any better understanding English? Because the teachers a lot of times speak English, but don't want to speak English in front of an American because they don't understand English 100%. They get these teachers because they're the ones in the class that raise their hand, okay, I want to be a teacher, and I'll teach English. A lot of times we've been to people's houses recently, and there was teachers there that teach English and can speak English well, but they will not talk to an American because their English is not that good. So that goes to show you that I've even seen it firsthand, that people shy away from speaking English. They're either shy or afraid to, or really not know English that well. I know that in my past, in my background, what I found is they know English up to a certain extent. And what that means is they know probably about 100 words of English and understand what those 100 words are. You know, hi, how are you? Where have you been? Where do you live? Simple tasks like that. Now, I told Joey, in order to save his marriage, because she's gone. She's basically said, I'm over it. I'm tired of this argument over communication. So, Joey, take her, send her to, he said for me to do this out to the guys out there, and I know what the guys are going to say, but I know that I want to put this out to subscribers and to the potential subscribers. If you're going to get married, make sure you do first things first. Make sure you find someone that understands English. Make sure you find someone that can speak English. Make sure you find someone that can understand what you're trying to say when you're trying to say it. I don't know what kind of talking they had before they decided to come here and get married. I'm just saying. I asked them, I said, well, did you guys talk before? Oh, yeah, we talked. Well, who did you talk to? You talk to her or her sister or someone else? That's my big question there. There may have been someone else she was talking to, or he was talking to, I'm sorry, in U.S., and not necessarily his potential wife. Families will sometimes put someone in front of the list when they're actually speaking to someone else. Remember, when one person's there in the house, there's usually 2 or 3 more right there close. So they're going to help answer the questions that are right there in front of you. They're going to know your intimate details 100%. And don't think that they don't know the intimate details, and don't think they don't know what's going on. All do know what's going on. If your Filipinas in the house with other Filipinas, they usually know what's going on. I want to thank everybody for always watching my videos. And thank you, Joey and Sarah, for sending me this information. And they wanted this to go out to everybody. They're working on their relationship, and they want everybody to understand that they're going to try to work this relationship out. And I want to thank everybody for always watching my videos. And thank you so much. See you guys next time.